Get ready, because it's the TacoTuesday.com podcast.
All right, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the TacoTuesday.com podcast. Today we have Landon and Kate from Landon Talks. Welcome to the show.
We're so glad to be here. This is really nice.
I know, this is really nice.
Yeah, we kind of went heavy in the paint when it came to the food. But again, we figured big talent coming up from the South. We wanted to display Southern hospitality kind of our way with all of our big taco kits.
Well, as soon as we got here and saw all this, we were like, we've got to step up our hospitality in the South. This is like really something. Y'all have really taken it to a next level.
I just don't like talking to hungry people. You know, they get kind of grumpy and
I
stuff.
think that's a good strategy.
I know. I'm taking notes.
So, you're doing a show at the Irvine Improv tonight.
I am.
Which was my job that I had for the longest amount of time that I've had any job. So, I mean, you looking forward to that? Is it?
Oh, yeah. I love doing stand-up. I don't know what I'm doing, so I just show up when I'm supposed to, where I'm supposed to, and I just pretend like, I don't know if y'all did this, but when I was younger, I would play show in my grandmother's curtains, like, and everybody has to watch the show, and that's what I do stand-up wise. Like, I am here playing show, and y'all all are just stuck here watching me. So if you like it, great. If you don't, you still have to watch me.
That's awesome.
I like to think of my audience as like a captive,
they are
sort of
captive.
like prisoner group.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, that's fun. That's always good to laugh.
But I mean, the comedy and then the book, which we're going to touch on. There we go, tacos in a little bit. This is all basically kind of a culmination and continuance of your massive rise to stardom through social media and stuff. I mean, if there's anybody of the 500,000 on Instagram, and I don't know the rest of the channel numbers, but if there's anybody who hasn't heard of you, first of all, shame. Can you kind of walk us through like how this all came to be, like how Landon Talks really exploded?
Yeah, well, I just talk too much, first of all, is the main situation that we've got going on here. But so we've known each other since like second grade. Mm-hmm. So she knows all the stories. And one day I was talking at her in her general direction, a story that I've told many times before, and her eyes like glazed over. And she was like, what if you told your stories to the internet, which is like a very nice way of saying like, please stop talking to me. Talk to somebody else about it.
Just trying to redirect that energy.
So I did. I told a story. I started talking to the internet, and I told the story of that. We went to Walmart High School, and we literally did go to Walmart High School. And I can tell you all about that if you would like. But when I told that story, it kind of exploded. And then it turned into people asking about things I said during the story, like words and phrases, and then I was like, well, let's discuss like Fixin' To, and let's discuss Mike Could, and then it turned into these discussions, and then it just blew up from there, and it's been a really wild ride. It's like hard to process what it means to have that many followers, because it just turns into usernames and numbers after a while, but we're having a blast, like such a blast.
That's awesome.
All around.
So much fun.
So this is all basically just because you looked at him and just started to slowly hold up your phone and just record.
I'm not
She needed
going
a
to
break.
say that I'm responsible for all of this, but I mean, like, basically.
I love that.
I might want to send him an invoice. Honestly,
yeah, right.
It sounds like what my wife tells me to do. She's like, "Why don't you get some friends and tell them these stories that you love to tell over and over and over?"
Your stories are so good. What if you told them to somebody else?
Yeah. What if you talk to the internet? Talk to
The
the
world
internet
needs
instead.
this. No, really.
Got this new friend called ChatGPT.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
I mean, the world does have a beautiful fascination with the South. Yeah. I mean, it really does. I think for people my mom is Southern. I've spent a lot of time down there. I've got friends in Georgia, Tennessee, Texas, things like that. I've driven down there. I mean, one of the best nights of my life was in Birmingham. But the rest of America does have this odd fascination with it. Do you guys kind of see that when you're walking through? I mean, even other Southerners and stuff like that, whether it's the food, the phrases, the history, everything of it. I mean, there is a fascination with it.
Yeah.
Well, this has made us look at it from a perspective of sort of like, whoa, there is a whole culture here. Like when you live in it, it's hard to see it. So doing this has made me be like, oh, wow, we do have all these specific things that we do and all this special stuff, and it's a special place. I mean, there's a lot of history that needs to be reckoned with, but there's still a lot of very special things that are there, and it's very fun to get to share them. It really is.
Right. It's interesting too, because we spend our whole lives being like, we're going to get out of here, we're going to go anywhere else, but we're like living on the same street that he lived on his whole life.
In my house. I lived in this house.
That's cool though. I like that.
We've got so much more of an appreciation for it, seeing it from a different lens.
Yeah.
And now we get to go all over the place.
So and where you guys are based out of?
Laurel, Mississippi.
That's right, Mississippi. Okay.
Y'all, people that are listening may have heard of it if they watch HGTV, because there's a whole HGTV town about it. It's called Hometown. It's like a quaint little show where they renovate all the houses, and they have renovated all the houses. They're all nice and shiny now.
Very nice.
Who doesn't love a shiny house?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So nice.
Mine has no shine.
Ours either.
No, mine only has shine because of the stuff I buy at Target, which is probably inspired by that show. So
Yeah.
It possibly.
Yeah.
shout out to Target Home
Possibly.
Decor.
You put out a video talking about how to accept food or not accept food in the South. And it ended, I'm pretty sure you were just like, and so you never say no, that's just rude, period.
Yeah.
Well,
you
embarrassed
can't-
to say, I laughed for too long at that.
You can say no. It just like doesn't matter
Yeah.
that you said no.
You're still
You're
gonna
gonna
get
get
it.
the food.
Yeah.
It's like an offer forcing situation. Like you can say that the question will be like, did you eat yet, or did you eat? It'll be like that, and it really doesn't matter what you say in response to that. You're still gonna get the food. It's just like a formality.
Let me make you a
your
plate.
answer is not
Yeah.
relevant. You're still gonna get more food right now.
Cool. That honestly sounds like my kind of place.
Yeah.
I'm married to an Italian, so I identify
Yeah,
with that.
very similar.
Yeah.
Very similar.
Yeah.
I've learned
Like,
a lot of similarities with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is funny talking about like looking at where you're from a different lens.
Yeah.
You know, like I've really seen that when I've traveled, especially like when you go to different countries or when you go to Europe or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, where in America are you from? Oh, I'm from California. Oh, you're one of the hoods. It's like everybody has a particular idea of like
Yeah.
a California American. I'm like, is that good or bad? Like,
Yeah.
Which
Right.
one do you guys like here the most?
That's so funny. Yeah, I feel that way. It's really something, and I feel like y'all do have a culture here for sure.
Oh,
for
totally.
sure, for sure.
Absolutely.
But it really is something when you live in it. It's hard to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. Just while we're on the topic of food, because I want to talk about the podcast and the book that I mentioned earlier, but I want to talk about food because you guys, at the time of this recording, just announced the podcast on social media.
We
You're doing a
did.
giveaway with a brand that is very near and dear to my heart. Southerners know it. I love it. If anybody has the cookbook Turkey and the Wolf, they love it.
Yes.
Duke's mayonnaise.
Duke's mayonnaise.
I can't have y'all on and not. Oh, wow, it slipped out there. My
Okay.
mom.
Oh,
My mom is
both
proud.
of you.
My mom is proud. Sorry. Why is it so magical?
It just is. It's exactly the right combination of the things. It also is just in everybody's
The things.
It's also in everybody's
describe it.
fridge. It's like what you would find in the right. You know, when you go to a house and you're like, this lady knows what she's doing, or this guy
Yeah.
knows what he's doing, they have Dukes in their fridge, and it's a specific thing. It's because there's not sugar in it, I think, and that's a big thing. That's a big deal. There's like the right amount of vinegar in it. It's just all the little details are exactly right. They also have like a prolific following of people.
That's what I was about to
and
say.
they're ferocious. And anytime you mention mayonnaise on the internet, like it better be Dukes, or you're
Yep.
going to hear from
Yeah.
it.
The Duke's audience is deep.
Yeah.
There was like a little bit of a mayonnaise bidding wars for like sponsorship for a second, and I was like, Dukes has to win. I cannot like promote any other mayonnaise. It's got to be Dukes. Like we'll have to go with whatever they say. But
That would just be like the peak for me career wise, whether it's this podcast, my podcast, any podcast I do down in the future, whatever I do. As soon as I get into a mayonnaise bidding war, you've arrived.
well, and it was
Yeah.
stressful because there's so many like Hellman's and Blue Plate, but
Yep.
Dukes is just so much more. Like there's so many comments from the Dukes people
It's
compared
'cause
to all the other
Yeah.
ones.
They have all the stuff that they make it with. They had all the right amounts.
All the
All the
things.
things. Yeah.
Yeah, what did I see on the giveaway that y'all are doing too? It's slipped. I don't know.
There was socks. There was
it's
stained
happening.
glass. There was sauces.
They have like a what is it? The tomato bacon mayonnaise.
Yes.
And it's very
Yes.
good.
Oh, wow.
It's next level.
He's in. Corey's in.
Yeah, no, it sounds good.
It's very good. The whole thing is very good.
Yeah.
They sent us a box of like so many sauces, and we were like, we'll never get through all these, and we did.
We did. We made it
Yeah,
through
right.
all of them.
Yeah,
Good.
My family knows that I'm obsessed with peanut butter, and it's a very specific type of peanut butter.
What
It's
kind?
Skippy's Natural Creamy with honey, and it
Okay.
has to be that. It's that honey, that little bit of sweet.
Done.
You're a creamy guy.
I will
It's,
be ordering that.
Don't call me a creamy guy. Number one.
Sorry.
Number two. That's like a common gift.
We can edit that out.
You just made me. Oh yeah. Anyways, so I'm talking about peanut butter. My
Sorry,
aunt gets
I'm a
me
chunky
like
guy,
6
so-
gallons a year of peanut butter, and she's like, "Yeah, I know you're never gonna go through it all. It's just gonna like rot in the closet." I'm like, "Give me 6 months."
Challenge accepted.
What does 6 gallons of peanut butter look
I know,
like?
like-
6 gallons of peanut butter comes in a really big, hard to carry up to the 3rd floor of my apartment box. Yeah.
I was
Okay.
gonna say Norm
Amazing.
from Cheers, just kind of one ubiquitous shape. But,
Yeah. It could be described as ubiquitous.
Mr. Potato Head.
Well, I'm excited to have a peanut butter to explore now. That's so
Hey,
exciting.
listen, the
Yeah.
next time I see you, I'll make you guys a PB&J because I know
Okay.
just the right ratio
Okay.
of peanut butter
Yeah.
to jelly.
And it is
Amazing.
important.
Yeah.
All the ratios are important.
The ratios are
with
important.
mayonnaise
just
as
like
well.
with Dukes.
It's got to be the right.
Yeah.
the
I
right
make
amount.
the Duke's mayonnaise of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
That's a big statement.
I make big statements.
That's a big statement.
Sorry.
But I'm down for it. No, it sounds good. It sounds good like the y'all.
Yeah.
I say go for it.
Okay.
Bold.
Go
That
for
sound you hear is the comment section whirring up.
No, I say y'all. It's very good. Go for it. I think so.
You know what? I feel like an honorary Southerner now.
Oh, yeah.
You are.
Everybody can
You
say
said y'all like the second we walked
Yeah,
in the
you
door.
did.
You know, I was actually like,
infectious.
I never know what to say and I get nervous. So I'm like, oh, should I be like, howdy? Should I? Like, what? Or should I just be like, what's up, dudes? You know?
I wonder where people say howdy. Is it like
Texas,
cowboys?
probably, right?
I think that's like a North Texas
I think it's
kind of
people
thing.
who aren't from Texas that then go to a Texas Roadhouse for the first time.
Okay.
There's that like there's one on
Okay.
the, if you do on the drive out here, I think it's I don't remember what the highway is. There's a massive Texas Roadhouse like in this flat part when you're driving through the north part. And somebody out there knows where it is. Whatever the highway is, they know exactly what I'm talking about. And it's literally like the 72 ounce, all you can eat. People who go there who are not from there say howdy.
Okay,
Okay.
I like that.
That's what I
It's a
So
think.
very
there are
specific
people in
location.
Texas saying howdy, but they are not Texans.
I think, yeah, they're just logistically in Texas.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
feel like we were just
to know.
in Arkansas, like randomly in Arkansas, and I feel like some people there might say howdy.
It felt like they might.
It felt like there could be a howdy slipped out every now and then. I didn't hear one, but I think that was it was a suspicious error of howdiness.
and we
you know?
really were like randomly just in
We
Arkansas.
did not mean to be there.
Actually, you know what? I was just in Cincinnati and we stayed right across the river from Kentucky. I was with my
Okay.
in-laws, right? Visiting my wife's family out there. And they were like, hey, if you want to cross that bridge and go to Kentucky, you know, cross another state off your list. I'm like, why not?
Yeah.
Let's go to Kentucky.
Yeah.
Somebody
Sure.
did say howdy in
Okay.
Kentucky. So it could be
Okay.
a Kentuckian,
We're on to y'all.
Kentuckian, thing.
I'm not touching
Into
that
it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Into
no,
it.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That was my main pressing question I wanted to get off my chest. Everything else is just conversation.
Just had to
I
know
was
about the-
not having you guys in and
And
not
the
bringing
Duke-
up Duke's
Duke-
mayonnaise.
The Duke's people are the
You
best
had to.
people too. Like the people behind them, they're all so kind and so great, and I really enjoy them. And it's a Southern brand, so it's like
Yeah.
it's from the Eugenia Duke was the lady that started it, and isn't that such a Southern name? I feel like
It is
Yeah.
deeply
And she
Southern.
started it.
Yeah.
so. I'm proud to be associated with it.
Cool. No,
Awesome.
that's so we know what the best mayo is. So let's talk about this podcast. What are you guys? What you going to talk about?
Well, it's Landon Talks with Kate, and we're going to talk about everything, kind of like y'all, just interesting people, interesting things we learn about. We have recently done all these travels, so we get to share all those.
Yeah, we've got plenty to talk about for sure. A lot of the same topics that are in his videos, but just a little more banter.
We'll banter about it.
Banter.
Kind of fleshing them out a little bit more than just like the 1 minute on social
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah. Have you guys already, I mean, a lot of people nowadays are launching podcasts. No irony lost on me. Again, I do a hospitality one outside of this. It seems like everybody's kind of doing one. It seems, I don't think you're allowed to be a Real Housewife on Bravo unless you have 6.
No.
Yeah, they wouldn't let me on until I. did
What was it
podcast.
like for you guys to shift from, okay, we have this big social following, we have this rising brand, let's do the podcast. I think for a lot of people, what was kind of your story for creating it and everything else? Because I think a lot of people want to do it and they have no idea how to start.
Right.
Yeah, and that makes sense because all of this is like a wild new world. It really, and I understand that I'm coming from like this is like a different journey than most people probably. But so I blew up like last year on social media, and almost immediately, like I had book publishers in my DMs, I had podcast producers in my DMs, and I just didn't feel like ready to do that just yet. So I wanted to like wait until I really found my groove and knew what I was doing and had an idea. Like I felt like you can just start a podcast, but I wanted to have more of a solid idea of like what that should look like. So I just kind of like pushed this guy off at like literally monthly. He would send another message, and monthly like send another message, and I just was like, not yet, or I made an excuse. And so we finally got down to it, and now here we are doing it. So basically, I just have said no for so long that I finally gave into it. Now that I convinced her to do it with
Yeah,
me,
it
and
took
that
me
made
that
me be
long
like,
to warm
okay,
up to, like, the idea
let's
of
do
being a
let's do the
part of any of
podcast. Because before, all of it is just like her behind the scenes and me doing the stuff, and it's like a lot to do.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I
It
didn't
is.
feel like I had the capacity to add more to it, you know. But now there's people to help, and he's producing it, so we don't have to do any of that part. And
Yeah.
she's here to do all the ideas. Her background is in broadcast journalism. That's what her degree is
nice.
in.
Okay.
Yeah.
So all this is her fault, like from literally the idea and like how I know how to do
Sorry.
the stuff. So pulling her, knowing that she would pull into it, I was like, okay, we can do it.
Well, at least
Make
now it
happen.
says Landon talks with Kate, not
Yes.
at Kate.
Yeah,
So,
right.
yeah,
Right.
we've grown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll move forward.
How,
Progress.
how often are you guys recording? Because obviously you're here now in Orange County recording this, but are you trying to do multiple episodes and just kind of bank them and release them at a time, stuff like that?
That's what we've done so far. We've got the first like 4 done,
Nice.
and then we'll start again next week. We're getting some more. So, my schedule's so chaotic all over the place, and I literally don't even know where I am at any point in time or where
He
I'm
could
going
be
next.
kidnapped so easily.
Very
He'll just
easily
get in a
kidnapped.
car.
Please don't, because I just will get in
Tell
the
him
back
you're
of the
an
car. Like if
I'm your
I will
Uber
go
today.
there.
All right.
Picking up for
Really?
Landon, be like, I don't remember ordering a blacked out van.
Exactly, but I will get in it.
Cool. Excel.
But so we're just gonna like stack them on the weeks that we're home for sure.
Nice.
And get as much done as we can then, because who knows what is
Yeah.
coming up next, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I noticed you both have very luscious locks, and underneath this beanie is something of the opposite of that.
I want to say that I'm having a lot of jealousy because anybody who's seen the prior
really
episodes,
kind of a bummer.
I had the same thing and I just cut it off 2 weeks ago at the time of this recording, but no one knows that.
What made you cut it off?
I like to call it my third life crisis. It was either this or a Porsche, and I don't have Porsche money because I do this for a living. So,
Yeah.
Nice.
That's good.
what am I going to say? Midlife, for God's sakes. That's
Oh, your third life. It
ominous.
sounds like you're on life number 3. Like you've had 2 shots, you
Maybe.
screwed them up, you're doing it again.
You're
Have you ever
almost done.
woken up the day
Yeah.
after St. Patrick's Day? You're lucky to be there. I've been had a
I
couple.
usually don't wake up until the day after.
I
that.
might be on a third life for all I know.
We've done St. Patrick's Day in New Orleans, so yes. Barely woken up.
Yeah, I did it. I did it in Boston. I'm pretty sure I lost a couple of my 9 lives.
Yeah, my wife wants me to go to Mardi Gras with her so bad. She went and did it once years ago, and
You
was
have
like,
to.
"It's such an experience. You have to walk through the streets." And
You have to. You need to
Yeah.
prepare yourself and like get really rested and like as healthy as you can be, because you're gonna just ruin all of that the whole week that you're there. But it'll be a very good time.
Yeah.
all my
Yeah.
best weeks, I just do so much harm to the kidneys,
So
and
much
the
harm.
liver. It's
There'll
like
be
I don't
so
even
much
care
damage.
about them. Like I have replacements
Yeah.
at home.
No. You're sending your internal organs to the gym, and then they're a little sore, and then they come
Right.
back.
Sending my organs to the
Mardi
gym.
Gras is
Yeah.
going to be like an Ironman type of a workout for them, but it's going to be a good time.
Yeah, it's like CrossFit for your liver.
Well, I'll get
Sorry.
a good stretch.
Back to the luscious hair. I didn't mean to sidetrack us on the kids dying slowly at Mardi Gras. But
Yeah, luscious
So,
locks.
yeah.
It was
Well,
odd.
it
that was
is
it. You just wanted to bring it up and comment
It is
on
such
it.
a subject that, and people ask me about it all the time, and I don't have anything good to tell them about it because her stepfather is the like beauty pageant stylist in our hair town. So he's like does the hair. So we just like inherited that situation. And then I just like don't do anything to it. And so I don't know what to tell these ladies that are asking me all the time. Like I get they're
That's
like
what I was
bullying
about
me
to say.
on the internet
The
constantly.
trick
and I'm
is
like,
like
I
just
have
don't
anything to
ever
say.
touch your hair. Like
don't,
don't
like-
brush it sometimes.
I
and-
barely wash it. I don't brush it. Just like show
I
up
never
this
brush
way.
my hair. If you can
But-
believe that.
I think it's hers. I think it's my father-in-law's fault. I think he gets the most of the credit. Just
Yeah.
the cutting.
He gives
of
us
the
a
hair.
good haircut like once a year, and then that holds us
Once a
through.
year.
Pretty much.
Beauty pageant hair. Man, talk about pressure in a job.
Right?
Yeah.
I'd rather hold the nuclear codes.
No doubt.
I don't know. I don't know.
It's a position of power.
You ever
to be
been
the
to a beauty pageant,
guy.
especially in the South?
Yeah.
They're very serious.
like beauty pageant. No, I have not been. Have you?
It's competitive.
Well, you're looking at Miss University of Southern Mississippi right here
Is that right?
I mean, I guess.
in
yeah.
2007.
Take your hat off. You were in the presence of a queen.
I can't take this off.
I left my crown at home, so it's all right.
There
I
is
was
a
gonna
crown
say
though.
you
It's in
look
a
a little
box.
different from the photos where you have the crown. So.
Yeah.
There is a crown though. It's in a box.
That's awesome.
Yeah. In the living room.
Let's talk about the South itself, because on top of everything else that y'all are doing, see, it happens. It's infectious. I love it.
I've never seen
You
you
are. They
nervous
were now an
podcast.
author.
I love it.
I love it.
Yeah, and that was wild.
Yeah.
Very unexpected, and I have like the most ADHD, so like not very successful in school. As far as college goes, I went to like all the schools in Mississippi.
You did
just
the college
bounced
tour.
around, had a
Oh,
great
yeah?
time, and didn't do necessarily the studying part of the school, but finally like crawled my way out of school with a history degree. Like I really literally went to the office and was like, I have to get out of here. Like what can I do to get out of college? Like
need to leave.
please let me out. And so I got a degree in history, but I even actually had to I like promised one of my professors that I would like not go to graduate school, because the last week of school I was like, listen, I probably am not turning in this paper, and I also don't feel like
The last week.
like I probably like won't be doing the final, like can I still graduate? And he was like,
honesty.
you can just like you have to promise me that you will not do graduate school. And I was like, I pinky promise, like I will not do
not
graduate school.
happening.
Like I'll never try to do anything like a big project like that. So the book was wild because I had literally never successfully completed anything nothing of that big of a nature. Like I'm more of a like, let's chat about it in person. But then when I leave the classroom, that was it for me.
Yeah.
You know, like that's all I was doing. I'm not really doing the rest of the stuff. So a large project was wild, but I had her, and she has her educational specialist degree, and she worked with SPED students for the past like 10 years in the public school that we both worked at. So she knew a lot about accommodations. And so she basically like accommodated me through writing 52,000 words. And I fought it at every step I could.
It was not easy.
But we got it done, and it's a fun book. It really turned into something very fun. And at first it was like a little bit less serious. And then when I turned in the first manuscript, which I considered to be like a rough draft, which if you're ever publishing a book, that's not what they want. They want the book.
Yeah, right.
They would like the book,
actual book.
Yeah.
And I got it back, and it was like all editors that were not from the South, like they were from like South Korea and like all over the place. And so it was just like solid red. Like everything was like, what is this? This is wrong. This is grammatically incorrect. Like everything is so bad. So we spent like weeks like arguing, being like, no, it has to be phrased this way. It's got to be this and that. And so then it turned into, we had cross references of things and footnotes. So it's turned into this like very academic little like book. And so it's a field guide to all things Southern. It's Bless Your Heart, a field guide to all things Southern. And it really turned into an actual field guide. So I feel like if you're from the South, you're going to be like, this is so fun and silly that we have to explain these things. And if you're not from the South, it literally can like explain all the stuff that we're talking about. So it's exciting. And it comes out on April Fool's Day of all days. So I'm going to convince everybody that it's real.
Nice.
But it is real. And it did come out, and we really did write it. It's really
That
awesome.
is
Good
awesome.
for you.
I'm definitely going to read that. And you know, like those people that go around and they do like a fake accent, right? They go to a town they've never been to.
Yeah.
I
They
am
say y'all
for
on a
sure
podcast.
Gonna try out some of the tips and tricks that I learned from the book.
Please do.
And see if I just
Amazing.
blend in.
Please do. You would. You blend
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
I think it should spread everywhere. Think all the phrases like fixing to and Mike could and y'all, all of
Mike
it.
could. Oh my gosh.
Mike could is just.
Oh, Mike Cood's the best. It's
Yeah.
even grammatically correct.
It is.
What about I'll be go to hell? Do people say that in the South? Is that a one? Is that no?
I'll
What is
be.
it? I'll be
for
go
sure.
to hell.
I'll be. Yeah, I'll be go to hell or I'll be gone to hell. It's one of those two things.
I'll be gone to hell. That I can see
yeah.
that. Yeah, I could be that. Say it. I could see.
I
that
have
being
It's more
said.
of like
I'm waiting to hear the
what that means.
translation
Yeah.
based on their reactions to see whether or not I'm on
I
your
don't
team
have
or
the
not.
translation.
It's
I
more
just
like
know
an
that-
I'll be.
Yeah.
Dot.
I'll be.
So I guess you could follow it with gone to hell.
Yeah, it sounds
like
kind of
that.
like a depressing sort of.
Yeah.
You know, like, well, I'll be gone to hell.
Yeah.
See how
Nice.
when you
Yeah.
change the tone.
There's a lot of like
Shocking.
morbidity to the South. There's like a lot of that. So
Yeah.
that lines up.
His grandmother walked in the other day and he said, how are you doing? She said, well, I'd have to feel better to die.
And I was like, hold on, let me write that down. I have to write that down.
I'm immediately
That's a
banking
gem.
that
Yeah.
for my next
That's
really
a
bad
gem.
hangover. That's beautifully morbid. I love it.
You know, I bet there's a lot of those.
There is.
we miss
Everybody's
out
like
on.
very one foot in the grave type of an attitude about the South. We're already like there, you know?
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Like all my grandparents have been one foot in the grave and they're still alive. So
Right. They were 1 foot in the grave
Yeah,
when you were like
when I was
6.
born,
yeah.
the whole time.
And then here today, it's yeah.
Meanwhile, like fist fighting tornadoes and like, chainsawing
Yeah.
trees.
I learned last night at the improv about tornadoes that y'all don't do tornadoes here.
No, the ground shakes.
And I'm
I
incredibly
don't know
grateful
anything
for
about
that. I've been in a few tornadoes and I
See,
will never
the sky
do them
attacks
again.
you, and you think the ground shaking is scary. That's
That's
actually a
so
fun
scary.
topic.
I've only been in one minor earthquake and it was not a big deal. It was like really quick and fast, but I'm not about that. Like I like the ground to be like a solid place.
But like, what if so the ground is solid, right? So you can hang on, like you get too drunk, you can hang on to that grass to like stay on the surface of the
Yeah.
earth. You know what I mean? But the sky comes down and like spin attacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
But that can't be worse. I mean, better than earthquakes. It can't.
I mean,
Earthquakes aren't that bad. I was
Earthquakes aren't that bad until the big one happens, and then we have nothing.
Scary part about tornadoes, it's not just the fact that they can relocate your house, no problem. It's what happens right before. When that, for anybody that's been in one, they know when everything goes dead quiet, that sky goes that
Yeah.
eerie green.
color is
Right.
right.
You're like,
color.
oh no, here we go.
And that is the whole thing. Yeah. Well, tornadoes kind of started this because a tornado is why we went to Walmart High School, literally. And so let's get into it.
So we actually love
I guess
tornadoes.
y'all are going to have to hear
Tornado
about Walmart
responsible
High
for this? Yes, please.
So I
wish I went
know
to Target
like
Middle
when
School.
y'all look at me, if you're watching this like and visually see me, you think like immediately like outdoors. with this. But I was camping in the woods in 8th grade, like literally camping in the woods. And my dad came up to where we were camping and was like, y'all school got blown away by a tornado.
Casual.
And we were like, what? And we really did. But it was spring break, so nobody was there and hurt, so it was fine. But so then we had to like go to school for the rest of the year. And we had just got a new super Walmart in the town. And that is a Walmart with a grocery store in it.
Yeah, those are intense.
We moved up, we leveled up, and we were really proud.
Yeah. That only happens out here when we get a Whole Foods, and then the whole neighborhood just changes over. Yeah.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's like leveling up. So then the Walmart, the regular Walmart, was available. And obviously, where do you put the kids but the Walmart? So they literally put us in the Walmart, and all the signs were still there. They like just ripped the shelves out. They built plywood cubicles. And I don't know if you know about cubicles, but they famously don't have ceilings. So we were in one giant room together, which is
It was
divided.
like a rat maze, basically.
It was a rat maze. And it was 7th through 12th grade.
I thought it was just named after the company, like maybe they helped build it or something.
No, it's
this is
literally
legitimately a
Walmart.
Walmart. Cancel the rest of the episode. This is what I need the rest of my life to be.
Yeah.
It was literally Walmart. Like our principals greeted us with Walmart vests the first day, and they
Horrifying.
continued to wear them the rest of the year. They did. The bell was an air horn, and the intercom was like the Walmart intercom. So
Everybody knew your business.
everybody did. For like a week, all we heard was the intercom all day long, and then they gave up, and they were like, if a parent came to like get you, they would just be like, good luck, go find them in this maze of
Go
stuff.
find your kid's cubicle.
Good luck.
Right.
Fun. Famously, it has no
Yes.
ceiling.
You know, like the one thing about
you-
cubicles.
Could you tell,
Just
like,
not the number one fact I think of when I think of cubicles.
could you
Dang
tell,
lack
like,
of ceiling.
which part of the Walmart your classroom was in? You're like, ooh, they're in the auto parts.
You
It smells
very
like
much
rubber.
could, and this
Like,
was like a source of drama because we were in 8th grade, which is like a sensitive time, and they put us in the baby section. So we were in the baby section.
Not the 7th graders.
7th grade got sports. We were in the baby section, like literally the sign. So it was really, to us, horrifying and embarrassing. We had show choir and layaway. That was a thing. The office was customer service.
So like the marketing was still up then because you said that
Oh, yeah.
you said that the
There.
tornado destroyed the school during spring break, so they
Yeah.
were like, these kids got to get back to school.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they did this in like
this
less
is
than
incredible.
2 weeks. They got
Even
us.
juvenile halls don't have cubicles.
Yeah.
So
Well, I want to know
Right.
why they built the school. The school is unable to handle the tornadoes, but the just in case is we're going to really batten down the hatches at Walmart, not the super Walmart with the grocery store, the regular one.
because they don't want you to leave
You're
that
assuming
Walmart.
there's like a lot of forethought into this, and none of that is the case.
Well,
We're just
in
like
a place
existing.
where tornadoes are going to destroy the school.
would think.
from
You
time
would
to time.
think.
Well, I sometimes think it
would
sounds
think.
like the people that built the school didn't really do a lot.
We weren't like-
Everybody right now be like, he's never been in a tornado.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry for
You would
everybody in
think-
the
There's
South.
pretty
that's
much
like, it doesn't
nowhere
matter.
you could
think
build it.
there are some schools that have like shelters in the schools, but we were not one. We were just
We
a
were not
county
one.
school,
One of the
just a regular
unluckiest.
school. And honestly, like the school was kind of creepy and old, so we were glad because we got a new school after that,
Yeah.
and it was
It
like,
needed
okay,
an
the
update.
vibes are better.
Talk
It was,
about a teardown.
it was really grungy. Yeah, literally tear it down. It was fun though. Our cafeteria was in the garden center.
But one fact about that is that the cafeteria did not get blown down.
Yes.
So they cooked the food in the old cafeteria and shipped it to the new cafeteria. So it was even better.
It's like airline
Than it
food,
would've
but in a
been.
school.
Yeah.
It does
Like, we
sound
made it
a
over
little
there,
bit like
but-
prison. We're just going to fill like
mean-
6,000 trays.
And the outside of the cafeteria was the garden center outside, and so it had like a large fence. So it was those vibes.
It was
Was
sad.
it barbed wire at the top, or was it
I
just
feel like
Out in the
Is there
yard.
barbed wire
I
for the
don't
garden
feel like
center?
there was.
Yeah, right.
But it was that vibe. If
Yeah.
there wasn't barbed wire, there was still like the vibe of barbed wire. But they gave up on like trying to keep us there after a little while. And
'Cause
like
there was an Arby's next door.
Arby's never has done better
Well,
in
they have
Laurel
the
than
meats,
that year.
so-
Well, they have
they
the meats.
they
They
have
do
the
have the
meats,
meats.
Yeah.
and they survived the tornado. So you know,
That makes
it's
sense.
the whole thing.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that could be like a whole industry of its own.
Who did you
Just like
who did you
making,
say
like,
delivered the news to you again?
tornado proof?
My dad, he came up and
I
got
love
us.
that he said it with the same nonchalant as like, oh yeah, my quarterback threw 2 interceptions yesterday.
Well,
Like, no big
he's
deal.
very nonchalant kind of a guy. He's not
school's
dramatic at all.
Yeah,
I
right.
took all the drama
Pardon?
and kept it for myself
again?
from him. So he's like the least dramatic person. Just casually delivered that.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard
line.
him at a different tone.
No, he's just very, very straightforward. He actually is retired recently. He was a banker, and he's like really living it up and like having emotions and being
Smiling.
exciting. It's wild. It's like wild to see. It's
You know, it's
unsettling.
been weird to see my dad get older too. You know, I remember him so vividly as a kid. That forehead vein that would bust out. It looked like he was just like about to go to prison, you know.
Yeah.
And now he's crying at Thanksgiving, talking about, I'm so grateful.
Yeah.
You know,
You're like,
it's
wait,
what the hell happened?
Okay, so your job was stressful.
Who are you?
Okay,
All that
that's what it
forehead vein
was.
was the emotions. Now that it's gone, they're just flooding.
Now I guess he's talking,
Yes, you're
talks about
right.
stuff that
Wild.
didn't do that.
Sharing emotions. I don't know.
You know, you're
Like,
talking
Dad,
about
you
an
feel
old
stuff?
school
The
stoic
whole
man where you're like, he smiles now.
Yes, right.
Yeah, it really is. That's how we feel about it.
You're like, wow, what a
Smiles now.
breakthrough.
He's so happy.
It's really something.
Yeah.
Really something. But so we did Walmart all from tornadoes, and I think that's very fun. But our attitude about tornadoes is not correct, and you would think it would be better. But like if it's a tornado watch, not paying attention because that's just watching for
just a
tornadoes. And
possibility.
who has time to do that? But a tornado warning, that's like, okay, there's a tornado on the ground, like it's a whole
Somewhere.
thing. And so we'll like turn the TV on and be like, all right, is it our turn, you know, or is it somebody else's turn? Because the thing about tornadoes is it's not the whole town that's going to get knocked down. It's like
no.
just a
Yeah.
part of it.
No, they can literally
turn
just
it
hit
on.
that house, skip it,
But
and
the
go that way.
weatherman, if the weatherman like rolls his sleeves up, then it's time to really pay attention. If the sleeves are rolled up, it's very much
Clean out the
it's
closet.
very
Really?
much paying attention.
I'd go
time.
right to
That's
the
like
Walmart.
That's like
see the
go
sleeves
to
go up,
head
I'm
to the
going
Walmart,
right-
head straight to the Walmart. And one time though, the audio went out and he started writing posters, and we were really panicked. Then that was like, okay, we've really got
This is
to
serious.
Oh, yeah.
gotta go now.
The man
Go time.
I love that.
Like that's what it said.
The wily
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Really
Get out of
good.
here.
It's like get to safety.
Any particular direction how'd you go? We're just kind of
So you should have just put safety, like just abbreviate.
Yeah.
And we don't even
Right.
have basements, so I don't know like where we're gonna go. Like the water table is too high, so I guess
Yeah.
just like the hall closet is where we'll go. But what the truth is, like if we're being totally honest, everybody in the South is going to the window to like look for the tornado,
the porch.
and I don't know like what we're gonna do when we see it, but that's where we're going. And I said that.
Trying to blow it
I
away.
said that on the internet though, and the National Weather Service was like, "Please delete this."
National Weather Service comments.
Yes. And I was like, I can't delete it. So now anytime I talk about weather, I block the National Weather Service so they can't see.
No, he doesn't. That's not true.
No, yeah, I
Don't tell
don't. With
him.
National Weather Service, I don't do that. Definitely, I don't. I definitely don't do that.
I love that from the start you've always had a de facto business manager.
Yeah,
Like she's like, no,
definitely.
don't do that. We don't condone that here. Yeah.
Right.
I think that's just marriage.
Yeah.
Sort of, yeah.
That's kinda like
you
my
start to
job.
drift a little too far away from what you're supposed to be talking about, and then you kind of get pulled back in
Yeah.
a little
Somebody
bit.
to pull you back in.
That's what I'm here
Right.
for.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What are some misconceptions about the South? I mean, before people go out and they buy the book and they keep kind of watching all the reels and the content and everything else, what would you say are like, now that you've kind of gone out and you've done so much traveling, seeing different parts of the country, when you look at the South from the outside perspective, what are some of the biggest misconceptions that you guys see, or like myths that you can debunk or something like that?
Barefoot.
I mean, yeah, that we're like barefoot and stupid. Honestly, like we're not.
And
Do you both
we're
have
definitely
shoes on?
not like
I've
barefoot.
got my shoes.
Just checked.
We're definitely not barefoot because it's because there's like ants and stickers in the yard.
You can't be.
The barefoot thing is not true. We can't walk around. You can't walk around in the yard. You
No,
would
some
be
of
like,
some of the things that
ruined
you
very
know, some of the
quickly.
bugs in the South and some of the critters and stuff. No, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Uh-uh.
we
Yeah, what do
have
they
the
call
critters.
the of course I can't think of it now because I'm trying to those big bugs that come around. It's like sounds
There's-
like Euclid or something.
There's many
Oh,
big bugs.
See what I mean?
yeah,
Yeah.
You just like stole it from me too. It's somewhere right here.
Let's check the guac.
Locusts,
Not
we have locusts. We have fire ants. We got all the
No.
stuff.
Oh,
cicadas.
Cicadas,
Fire
yeah.
Y'all don't do cicadas in California? What?
No, isn't that like
no, they
a
can't
southern
afford the
thing?
rent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lines up. Very clever.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a cicada killer?
No, I just imagined a bigger cicada.
It's a big,
It's a. It
big
looks.
wasp.
It looks like a giant.
It
It looks
kills
like the
cicadas.
murder wasp.
Yeah, it does. It looks like a murder
Oh,
hornet.
those murder hornets?
Yeah.
Actually,
no, thanks.
when
Bigger.
murder hornets were like being a thing, she had just seen one, and we were like, we
like,
already
oh my
have
God, they're
murder
here.
hornets. Like, we already have those, but they're not. They're specific to
They don't bite.
cicadas. So
Got it.
you don't have to worry about them.
You know what? I actually feel like I've learned a lot more than I thought I was going to learn already.
Yeah.
There's plenty.
And there's so much more
There's so
potential
much.
to learn.
No, I mean, yeah, we have like ticks out here and stuff, but like fire ants. I made the mistake when I was a little kid, and this was in Atlanta, of sitting on a fire ant mound.
Oh my god,
And
that happens to everybody.
that was bad.
once.
It does.
Yeah,
One
yeah.
time.
It's like
That'll
touch the
happen one
stove
time.
twice, but you sit on a fire ant thing once. Yeah.
That's wild. But in the so where we're from, there's so many like little remedies that your grandmother would do for the fire ants, ranging from like Windex
Spit.
to like chewing tobacco, chewed tobacco.
Only cope straight, no Mitch. Get the skull out of here.
right.
I can't
mean,
say,
like,
like,
so
no.
many times.
Can't say from like a scientific perspective that those things work, and I don't think we should like promote putting Windex on open wounds. But
No, and tobacco spit probably is not great.
if you
It's
don't
probably
have
not
any
the
other
best
option,
Not a good
it's like,
antiseptic.
Gotta be a better
I am 36. I've made it this this far, and I've had lots of
still here.
Windex wound.
It's fair.
Yeah, I've had a
Repair.
lot of WD-40 at the beach when you get tar on your foot.
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad showed me
WD-40 will solve anything.
Yeah.
WD-40 and duct tape, and you're set. You
Right. Well, I used to be depressed, and then I got like stocked up on the WD-40, and everything has been like
There you go.
I did get a couple
Done.
bad cuts.
much
super
better.
glued up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just patch my problems up.
Exactly.
Right.
And, yeah, you got to fix them. Do you say fixins a lot?
Oh yeah, lots
Like,
of fixins.
lots
You
of
got the
fixins.
fixins and the sides and all the things. You can
So,
be
like,
fixing to
this could
fix
be
some
like
fixins even. There's so many ways to say it. There's so many fixins here in front of us, and I really like that.
Yeah. No, we put a big emphasis on like the Southern hospitality thing. And it wasn't even so much me. I'm not quite as nice, but I came in here and really saw like a concentrated effort, like something about strawberries.
It's really
lots of
nice.
food.
You
Yeah,
know,
great.
what,
It
you guys
is.
can identify with this because I still did with this with my mom. She's not watching the show, so it's fine. When your mom comes over, it's like you deep clean
Yeah.
your
I
place.
mean,
Like
the
it looks
baseboards,
brand new.
yeah.
People who are about to buy it, it's never been that clean. When I came in here today, we were getting this all set up. I was like, "Who? What is the?" All right, yeah, we're just going all in. It was that same type of like stressed out, loving energy. Where
Yeah.
they're like, "Oh my god, it must be perfect." Like, don't touch, don't sit
Flattered.
down.
I love that we give that vibe because we do talk about the South, but we personally, and this, I guess here we're going to reveal a secret here on the podcast. It's just exclusive to y'all. We are not the best hosts of people. We are hosted often at our families' houses, but our house is not like a perfectly spotless, like perfectly hosting place.
Like ever.
We're more of
Never.
like a meet you outside with the grandkid,
Yeah,
so that you don't have to come in and like see.
divorce parent drop off.
Yes.
Right.
But it's just our front porch.
Do you guys have kids?
We have one 11-year-old.
Oh, okay.
And he's
11.
He's really great. And we had him.
That's
and
still
we were
a
like,
fun age.
this
You
is
got
nice.
like another year and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
We were like, this one's nice. What if we don't like the next one? So
She knows it too. She's like, "Oh yeah,
I know.
it's coming."
So
But he's
sad.
great.
Yeah, I
great.
feel like little
Little sixth
twinges of like a teenager happening, and I'm just not ready.
Yeah. Well, you guys know you were eighth graders once. We're terrible human beings.
Really
Yeah.
bad. Really bad
Yeah,
human beings.
I was pretty pleasant, but
One of the biggest things that I love about the South, and it's how you can tell that somebody is either from there or not from there, is the term, and it's on your sweatshirt. I don't know if it's showing up at the camera lens, but it's the title. It's part of the title of the book. Everything else, bless your heart. People don't know that is basically like the middle finger of the South.
It can be. It's like
Yeah.
both. It's all things.
It is
It's like a
an
nuance.
all-encompassing phrase.
It really is.
It means everything. It means you're an idiot. It also means like, oh, I love you and I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's both
That's
ways.
true. It
It's
can be
just
sympathetic.
So much nuance.
It can be sympathetic, and it's like all around. Like for instance, well, y'all school got blown down by a tornado. Bless y'all's
your
heart.
heart. Yeah,
that's real. That's really like, oh, bless your heart. Your school got blown down. But if you were to be like, well, now, I don't think they were going to ever pass the Algebra 1 state test, whether they were in Walmart or not, bless their hearts. You're an idiot. That is why. And also, on that note, circling back to Walmart, we had to take the Algebra 1 state test in Mississippi in that Walmart, and they built an auditorium, quote unquote, which was just a bigger cubicle in the middle
in the middle
room.
of the place.
And we took that Algebra 1 state test, and then like 3 to 6 weeks later, the governor of Mississippi literally pardoned us from that test. After the scores came back in, he was like, you know what, never mind.
this is
So
not
you
a
got a
compliment.
you got a
for
you
real.
got a
The
super
governor was
Walmart
like,
and a
no
super
Algebra 1
cubicle.
state
the
testing.
literal governor
Yeah.
was like, we'll let West Jones,
We're gonna let 'em have this.
Walmart High School get away with that. They can just move forward. So there's like 200 and something like unlicensed Algebra 1 adults around our age. Just roaming
Just
the land.
free in the wild.
Not a lick of logic, anywhere. Everything in the South is Coke. Besides these things have thrown us though, because like everything is Coke. Like Sprite is Coke, Fanta is Coke. Like
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, if you're
Everything's Coke,
you'll
yeah.
be asked like, would you like a Coke? And the follow up question is like, what kind of Coke?
Yeah.
Because like Meliella is Coke. Like
I forgot about that.
Sunkissed is orange Coke. It's all Coke. The only things that aren't Coke are Mountain Dew, and I don't know why Mountain Dew gets its own signifier. And then Dr. Pepper is also not Coke. Dr. Pepper is Dr. Pepper, and I think it's because like while we are not known for like education, we do respect your education, and Dr. Pepper got the degree, so we respect that. And then LaCroix has recently snuck in, and I don't think it's Coke. It's just spicy water. It's not
Spicy water.
not like real Coke.
Yeah.
But everything is Coke, even Pepsi.
I forgot
Even
about
Pepsi
that.
is
That's
Coke.
how like in the Midwest calls everything pop. Yeah.
Pop.
Yes, very
Yep.
similar.
Yep. Man, when my wife first started doing that, because we went to college in Ohio, I was like, I command you to stop. Like, that is beyond confusing.
There's a lot of overlap between us and the Midwest.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of things, they say the wrong words sometimes, like pop, but there's a lot of salads that absolutely are not salads.
No.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
a
No.
lot of misuse of mayonnaise.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen some affronts for sure.
Speaking of affronts, last night was very fun because I love to talk about some of the affronts that we have that are mayonnaise involved. And I told this last night and to a California audience for the first time, and I like wondered how it was going to go over, and it was like shock and awe and horror. They like really were like falling out in their chairs. But do you know about pear salad from
I
Boston?
knew you were going to go down here.
Pear salad.
Oh, I knew this is where this was
Salad.
going.
And I'm just sorry to everybody that has never heard of it because this is the truth. And just pear salad is the truth, and you just have to live with it.
I was hoping this is where you were going.
It's like at every single meal.
Would you like to tell us what a pear salad is?
Okay,
Explain
so
I need to know.
Okay, so first you start out with lettuce, but you don't eat the lettuce.
No, the lettuce is vibes. It's not for eating.
So you can call it a salad. And then you have a canned pear, not a fresh pear.
Half of a canned pear.
Yeah, half. And then you put a heaping dollop of mayonnaise,
Dukes.
Dukes.
Duke's mayonnaise on top of the pear. And then you sprinkle some shredded cheese on top of the mayonnaise.
Yep.
Usually a sharp cheddar.
Yep.
Yeah. And then if you're really fancy, you get you a maraschino cherry and put that right on top.
Yes. Oh,
And that's real
cherry
real
too.
life. That's a real thing.
Yeah.
It's the truth.
It's because the canned pear is structurally more sound than the organic
It is.
actual
It doesn't
pear.
brown.
well, the organic pear would turn brown.
Yeah,
You know,
and that's not
so you
visually
gotta-
appealing.
no.
You eat with the camera eats first, and then you eat with the eyes.
Extra
Yeah.
stuff in there
As if
to
it
keep
needs to be visually
I
appealing.
feel like the pear shouldn't even be there.
I did not think we were getting pear salad today.
Cherry.
And if you want to step it up, there's a few options. You can change the mayonnaise out for cottage cheese if you're being very fancy. You
kick.
also can
Right.
trade the pear for like a sliced, also canned pineapple, like the rings, the canned ring pineapple.
Exotic.
You can
Yeah.
put that, and then the mayonnaise and cheese is a whole thing.
Or a
It's real.
peach.
Or a peach.
canned peach.
I thought they only canned cranberries like in November. I didn't
No.
realize
Oh,
that
wow.
pears
No.
and
And canned peaches
Yeah.
are like one of my
Things are
guilty
in
pleasures. Yeah.
But that's the truth, and I told
I
that.
learn something new about you every single time I come to the studio. You know that?
This is a
You got
library
like
of fun.
what
really
this is
intense
for.
mayonnaise preferences that I hadn't heard of, and
I'd have brought you
Anyways.
some canned stuff.
Yeah.
I had no
yeah,
idea.
I would love to eat some. Well, I would love to try some pear
Well,
salad.
yeah.
It doesn't sound like my
one of my-
cup of tea, though.
I think one of my favorite cookbooks, which I think is Sean Brock's, I might be wrong, is one of his, there's literally a whole section all about like canning and like preserving. Like that's like a big deal.
the whole thing.
But also, yes, canned fruit slaps.
Yeah.
And that's
does.
syrup.
For sure.
used
I
in
will be
cocktails.
honest.
Yeah.
I did
Yep.
try baby food applesauce, which is somehow different than regular adult applesauce. It's
By
the same
choice?
thing.
It's creamier.
I mean, nobody can tell me what to do. It is
Fair.
creamier. Yeah,
Fair.
they put all the stuff that they put in. It's just like you said, man. Like they have all the right things
Yeah.
in all the right places.
Exactly the right combination of
yeah.
stuff.
right.
Oh my God, I forgot about pear salad.
Yeah, it's the truth. It is real. And like, I don't know if we want the pear salad, but the pear salad is there. It just is, you know?
It's kind of like fruitcake. Like nobody's ever going to be like, let me get a slice of
Exactly.
fruitcake, but it does manage to make a presence.
I don't
Exactly.
like speed bumps, but I get why we have them. Yeah.
Right.
Her
Great analogy for food.
her stepmother is like ultimate Southern hostess, and she does things like make fruitcake that nobody eats, but she
She
insists
makes
on doing
a
it
fig
because it's
pudding
tradition.
every single
Yeah.
year, and like
course.
literally no one eats the fig pudding, but we all get a piece to find the walnut inside.
And it would be disturbing if it
Candy
wasn't
walnuts?
Yeah, you get a prize.
there. Pralines or pralines, depending on how you want to say it. You know,
I've never
it's
known.
pralines.
It's
it's pralines. We just got
it is
into
pralines.
we just got into
Absolutely
versus-
pralines.
and that was a whole situation. And I've never actually said it on the internet. I bleep myself out every time I say it.
Did
Pecan?
you just say
As a funny
pecan?
joke, people say. Remember, we
What do
just
you
had
say?
pecan
Oh,
pie.
I've never said what I've said. It's
Okay,
always been
yeah.
like a
Keep it a
running
secret.
joke.
Just keep that a
This
secret.
running joke of I censor I like put a censor thing over my mouth when I say it.
It's pecan
I'll say
pie.
it. It's pecan.
People have strong feelings about it.
Okay, I'm glad I'm over here.
What about
We're gonna fight.
carbine versus carbine? Because
Well-
I say carbine, but only because that's the first way I had ever heard to it be referred.
I'm gonna be totally honest
Don't
here.
know.
I don't know what that is.
It's a rifle.
Okay.
I should have led with that.
It's carbine.
I assume carbine.
Okay, this
I
one
say carbine.
We
she
agree.
hunts
We agree.
and
One
like
for
has
three.
camo
Okay.
and does all the things.
that right?
And her dad like kills ducks. There's like
I'm
animals.
going duck hunting in like 2 months.
All over
Oh,
their
It's
walls.
the first time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Their house is
Alright.
covered in like dead animals on the walls. You know, like
Which I do not. I don't
exotic.
love that. I don't love to kill animals.
But I've never hunted anything. I've never done that the whole thing. But that's an anomaly. That's like not normal for the South. Most people.
Right.
We're
Most
hunting.
people
No, I
have.
just assumed you're like, oh, my carbine and we.
Yeah, no.
But there weren't any.
Well, now that you guys are on the West Coast, I'll throw an enunciation at you. Oregon or Oregon?
Oregon.
Good.
People say Oregon.
If they can.
never
and they're
mind.
welcome.
Probably people in Oregon that are like, I got to get Oregon.
Or gone.
Don't ever let me tell jokes on my podcast, dude. Let's cut that out.
That was a
It
good
was
Sorry.
good.
I'm
It was
sorry.
good. I'm gonna use that in my set.
Got me all messed up with my pear salads. And
Yeah, it's hard to
other
take.
canned fruits and berries I didn't know.
Take your time. Take your time.
I need some time.
We have
It is a lot.
Appalachian versus Appalachian, and even Appalachian. People have said Appalachian.
Appalachian?
That is
The
wrong.
Pennsylvania Dutch, they say it that way, and I was like, absolutely not. But then I saw people from there being like, no, we.
Well, what
do
does
say that.
Dolly say?
Dolly says Appalachian,
So
but I would never say Dolly's wrong because she's just a goddess.
She sounds like good
Everyone besides Dolly Parton is Appalachian.
Did you not know that that's who we
come
meant?
on now.
Yeah.
If anybody says
you had-
We're on
Dolly,
a first name
There's
basis.
one Dolly.
Because
well,
you
that
do-
sheep. There's that one sheep from a long time
Okay.
ago. Dolly the clone sheep. Remember that sheep?
Just pulled that out of the.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. But Dolly Parton says Appalachian, and we just will let her say whatever she wants to because she's the queen. Actually, I'm
She's the
coming at her
truth.
from every angle that I can. Like I took less money for this book because it came with the possibility of her being a part of it.
Oh, really?
I was like, take whatever you want, like down. And then I've like weaseled my way to working with Dollywood's parks and themes and all that stuff. So I'm just coming at her from every angle that I can. And then her book company sent me her book. So I just still haven't got to her specifically, but we did get to go to a media day at Dollywood, and she was like right there
She
from
was
us, like
close.
5 feet from us.
Did you say Dollywood?
Mhm. Dollywood is a theme park that she has.
Did
and
you not
it's
know this?
really wonderful.
Oh my God, there's like rides.
This is
There's like
Okay,
the Wig
so
Museum. Like,
I'm
what a
so
theme
glad that
park
we've
is.
scheduled you coming to the South now because that's going to be a whole adventure
Thrilled.
series that we'll have to make. It's going to be so fun.
I
We'll
actually
have to go to
fly for
Dollywood.
free, so I will see you
So you
anytime.
have to go to
Excellent.
Dollywood.
Well, we got to take you to Dollywood. It's like
Oh
a
my
theme park,
God.
and it's really wonderful because her whole thing is like she could be a billionaire by any chance, but she puts a lot back into her community,
Yeah.
and so she bought or works with Dollywood to give people in her town like jobs, and like they get free food. You get 3 meals a day if you work there. You get free college.
food, too.
They get paid well. It's like really a nice situation. So it's not
Yeah.
like just for profit. It's for taking care of people, but it's a
Yeah.
really great park in the Appalachian Mountains. It's really, really nice place. And we got to see her there. She like came to announce, I forget what it was she was announcing that was going on, but we went and saw it.
Her whole like wing of the park.
Oh yeah, there's like a Dolly experience. It's like her clothes and stuff. But we were sitting in the auditorium and we saw sparkles on the side of the stage, and we were like,
We're like, she's here.
she's among us.
She's right there.
Dollywood. That is. Why do you know about that? First of all, that's my.
How do
first
you
question.
not? She's a national treasure.
I listen, Dolly Parton. I just got nothing but love for you. I didn't know I needed anything for Dolly Parton, but
I also
yeah,
have a
no,
friend that just
big
got back
fan.
from Tennessee and they went there.
yeah, you got to go.
but
If you're in
yes.
Tennessee. It's very
Oh
fun.
my God.
It's really
It's like
fun.
in the mountains. It's got like top-notch roller coasters.
And
The
I will
food
say,
is-
like, if when you come, know this ahead of time because I didn't know the first time that we went. The roller coasters are so intense. Like we
Really?
had just done Disney World, and they were like
Serious.
fine, but those roller coasters are so intense, and they gave us like these fast passes, so we just like went from one to the next one, and by like the third one, I was like, "Is there like a pause?
Like, I need to sit
Do
for
we
a
get to
minute.
sit for a
we
second?
didn't even have our coffee and like walked in and got on what we did not know was like the fastest, most intense roller coaster there. And that,
It literally launches you up a mountain and then flies you around, and
like, wow,
so that
we're
was the way
awake.
to start the day, and it's very fun. So I can't wait to take you there. That'll be so fun.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
As somebody that has a tremendous fear of heights, I'm sure I'm going to do very well.
You're gonna
over
love it.
Dollywood. It just doesn't sound like the type of place that would have like a thrill-inducing roller coaster.
Right? It
I would-
doesn't
I
seem like
could
that.
see maybe they'd have like pear salads,
And
Yeah,
they do.
but
for sure.
I'm sure
It's a
they do.
flavor roller coaster.
Yeah, one that
is.
I'd like to go on that roller coaster. I'm not so sure about this one, but I'll give it the good old,
Okay.
college
We have to
try.
make sure that y'all get a pear salad in the future. I would
We
like to
should've
see
brought
that.
one.
We should have brought one. I don't really want one necessarily.
Yeah, I don't eat. I'm not gonna
No,
eat
But-
it.
I don't
know if
you did
anybody
not sell
does,
it.
They're
but-
there.
Yeah.
It just is.
You did not sell
I
it.
mean,
Yeah.
It
Exists.
just is.
But when you said that the lettuce was just a vibe, I did enjoy that.
Yeah.
It's a
It
base.
is. It's
It's just a
lettuce's
base layer.
vibes.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not for actually. If somebody ate the lettuce, we would be like,
Not the canned pear.
Bless their
Eating the
heart.
canned pear is fine. That's
Yeah.
some people's guilty pleasure, but the
Canned
lettuce-
peaches are my guilty pleasure, but canned pears, I'm just telling you, they're structurally more sound. They're ballistically better. Don't ask me how I know that one. Yeah, I'm just like, you never thrown a fruity Nerf football? It's the same thing.
yeah,
They got that cone shape.
I agree.
I don't
Yeah.
know what you're talking about.
they are.
this
good.
is-
we had very
Speaking of
different
another one.
childhoods.
We have very different lives. You know how often we will have like wine reps and people that like he will go on and on about different wines, and I'm like, I tried a Cabernet once, you know,
like red wine.
You're in California. You're supposed to know wine in California.
Red pairs
don't.
nice with the white.
I don't know wine. I know tequila. You know,
Okay.
I know
Nice.
tequila.
Then you're excused.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
I feel like you're excused. You don't have to know all the wines.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take off. You guys have a good podcast. Been excused. Okay. Podcast, book,
Pear
comedy,
salad,
pear
Walmart
salad,
Middle School.
More time because I'd
mayonnaise.
love to talk
People
about the structural
graduated
integrity.
from Walmart High School.
And does everybody call it Walmart High School, or are you guys?
It was just that one time, so it like was Walmart High School for then. Even, and this is embarrassing, but one of the history teachers there wrote a song about Walmart High School while we were in Walmart High School, and it hit the top 100 of the country charts.
I believe it.
Still have the
did.
CD.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Does
What, you just called Walmart High
Do
School?
you know if that
Yeah.
track
Pretty much,
exists
yeah.
on the internet?
We looked for it the other day. We couldn't find it, but we are on a mission to find.
Do you know the title?
Find it.
Like top
It
of your
was
head?
called Walmart High School.
It is just called Walmart High
Yeah.
School.
Yeah.
We stuck with that, and like it sticks.
I have officially joined the search, and so have you.
Internet. Assemble.
Start looking.
It had the
Please
little
find
smiley face
by
on the
Reed
CD.
Walters.
Okay, well, by the end of the day, we're going to have that.
Walters.
Have to.
All right. We're circling back to that.
Yeah, are you kidding me?
And people work in that building now too because the hospital bought it. So now people that graduated from Walmart High School, some of them work in the building that
So
Walmart
it really is like
was in. So
Walmart.
it's
You just
like-
can't escape. Once
Yeah.
you're in, you're like, I
Life-changing.
can't find my way out.
You're there.
life-changing place.
You get arrested, they're like straight to the garden section.
Yes.
You go to the cafeteria.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
I hope you guys feel like you've learned something. I've learned more than I did
have.
to pay back. So
Definitely.
I've had a blast at this. This is so fun. Kind of y'all set the standard for the next round of podcasts that we go on. Every
Yeah.
podcast from now on, y'all need to know that there needs to be like a giant spread.
Right.
know,
now
all our
when we
favorite
have
things.
guests too. Like
Just green room requests to be like, well, they
Just-
want this whole taco kit all in it.
Yeah, that's going on. We're gonna have a rider now that's like includes tacos.
Please include Dolly Parton. Yeah.
Yeah, please.
We couldn't get her.
Somebody please.
I would have prioritized that had I known. I didn't.
Well,
how could I know?
You know, the only way to contact her, I'm obsessed with her. The only way to contact her is through fax. Even Miley Cyrus was talking about it, and Kenny Rogers was
fax
talking about it
machine.
too. Like, she only faxes. She doesn't have a cell phone. She doesn't have a landline. She just has a fax machine.
Like,
that
Not
she,
even a landline.
I
Does
wanna
she checks
adopt
it
that.
like
That's
once a
like-
day, and that's the only way you can talk to Dolly Parton. Is
Well,
if
she
you
took that
have her
working 9 to
fax.
5 things pretty seriously.
Fax number. Mm-hmm. She did.
Jesus. Nice.
And she also hides her husband from everybody. I think that's fun too. You've never seen him.
hides him.
They've been married
Well,
for
the
like
guy from
50
Scientology
years,
does that with his wife.
and
so.
he's not really been seen.
I don't know his name.
Do we think he's all right, or we?
I think he's probably
We just
okay.
so in love with
Dolly
Dolly that
Parton,
we're
I think
Yeah,
he's
he
probably
seems
fine.
fine.
I think he's probably
yeah,
fine.
he's good.
I actually left my luggage last time at Dollywood because I got distracted by her. Because at the hotel we were checking out of, she was going to do some sort of press, and I like sat the luggage down on the side of the curb and then watched her do her thing, and then we got in the car and drove home. And then I got there and they had to mail
Like,
us
wait,
mail us our
none of the
suitcases.
stuff's here.
They left all of it.
The trunk is
Left
surprisingly
everything.
empty.
Wow.
Oh my
Everything
gosh.
there.
Did we bring anything here?
Yeah, we'll check for luggage before you guys leave to make sure.
Good.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You know, this is a true story. Nobody believes it, but this did in fact happen. It was raining one night. I worked at the Improv Comedy Club. I was in such a hurry. I didn't put shoes on. I didn't know I didn't have my shoes on until I was in the back of the house of the restaurant, and I stepped in like a puddle. And like right when I felt my wet feet, I was like,
You were like,
something. Yeah. And then the manager comes around. She's like, where the fuck are your shoes? I'm like,
No shoes.
I was in a hurry. She's like,
I feel like that's a
Like,
very California thing to do.
maybe that's a California thing.
Did they let you stay with shoes?
No, I had to go buy a new pair of shoes immediately.
Yeah, we're not the barefoot people.
Yeah, it's y'all.
We're
It's
definitely
y'all.
the barefoot people.
By the way,
Yeah.
back of the house at the comedy club, that was not a clean puddle either, was it?
It had a
Ooh,
nice
yeah,
like
no.
yellowy tinge to it.
Yikes.
Yeah. Yeah, bartending after a night of bartending. I don't know if you two have ever bartended, but man, the stench on your hands after that, the mix
It's
of
lovely.
wine and soda
We've been to
and
New
beer,
Orleans,
and
so
you've been to New
it's
Orleans,
kind
so
of
you
the
know
same
the
thing.
smell.
Bourbon
Yeah.
Street's kind
Smells
of
like
Yeah.
New Orleans, but I can't say that because I've not been there.
You'll be surprised.
Okay, so tour of the South.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Few.
Oh, don't tempt me with a good time. I will totally do a tour of the South. You kidding me?
It'll be a good time. You gotta
Write it
get ready.
down.
If it's Mardi Gras, especially.
You gotta wait for the field guy to come out so you survive.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I intend to try out some tips and tricks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll have
There's
to.
a lot of them in there.
Like
I bet I will nail the accent so fast nobody will even know.
Yeah.
Nobody will
They'll be like, this guy's native.
You will Brad
I'll be like,
Pitt
I was
and
angry and
Glorious
horny in the
Bastard.
cocaine.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? She, you.
That we just
I'll
left
be gone to hell.
when we
Gone.
Just Yosemite Sam Tarnation.
Tarnation.
They're gonna be like, who is this guy?
we just got back from that
Be like,
random
bless
trip
his
to
heart.
the Delta where we ended up in Arkansas randomly, and a guy from from England. He was from England, right? He was there, and he was trying to fit in very well, so he wore like denim on denim, and he kept saying
Canadian tux.
"Hey y'all, I'm from Alabama."
Alabama.
It was so egregious, but we let him. We were like, "You're doing so good.
You're doing so good.
doing
You
such
just
a
keep
good
it up,
job."
baby
Yeah.
boo.
You got it.
You're just killing it.
Little kid in youth sports energy of like, yep, you're good out there.
You got it, baby.
Keep
You
it up.
got it. Keep
You
going.
scored in your own goal, but
Good job,
you know,
baby.
Exactly.
Eye on the
at least
prize.
you kicked the ball. Well, I hope everything goes well tonight at the comedy show. I mean, I'm sure it
you.
will. Yeah, you
excited
pretty much
about
talk about anything. You both have such a disarming like accent. The Southern accent is so just like, you know.
Right.
Which is wild because I didn't think I had a Southern accent before I started doing all this,
Oh, you
and
most
that's
definitely.
the truth. But it's like if you go like 5 miles into the woods, they get real thick. Like they get
Yeah.
real thicker. So
Yeah, they do.
That's what I think of when I think of Southern accent. So it's wild to definitely have a Southern accent that I didn't really realize. But then I'll like look back at video that we filmed or like listen to this, and I'm like, gosh,
Yeah, it's there.
who is that talking like this? I can't even.
It's like the English and the Scots, you know? They share same land, they're right there, they're neighbors, they're like the same. But don't ever tell them that. Like when I went to England, you can understand most of the people in England, right?
Yeah.
Except for the Birmingham, you know, real thick, whatever.
There's so many
The
different ones.
Scots, like a different language.
Yeah.
It's even louder than me. They do more of this than I do. I was like, you know,
God.
I didn't know that.
yeah.
I thought that was more of an Italian type of a thing.
Yeah, well, the Italians do it too. I can. I noticed you actually did this earlier too. I can't stop ever since I got back.
Yeah.
Did I do it?
You just have,
Yeah,
you just
briefly
have that
you did.
emoji just locked
Yeah.
in.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It feels
Love
good.
that.
It feels right.
It does.
It just when you just gotta, you know, I'm not gonna have the pear salad. I'm not doing it.
That's like
I'm not eating
that's
the
like
lettuce if
Cajun.
I do.
As much as I love New Orleans, I'll be down there this summer, I think. But as much as I love it, like Cajun one's hard too.
And
You
her
get that real
family
thick one.
is from a lot of her family's from
yeah.
Louisiana.
They speak
and
Cajun French.
I'm
Yeah,
constantly
that's
like,
tough to keep, it's tough to keep up with.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
constantly like at their family reunion stuff and being like, I don't have a clue what is going on. Like, I don't know what any of y'all are saying. So I'm just going to keep opening these crawfish
Having
and
a
eating
good
them and
time.
enjoying myself
Yeah.
while y'all like literally play their fingernails, like as a,
Yes.
like playing their fingernails,
Yeah.
like
It happens.
the washboard.
Yep.
Yeah.
That really is true. That happened at your family reunion.
It does happen.
Playing the washboard.
Yeah.
That's just how you know you come from a fun family,
Right.
though.
Oh yeah, a real fun family. I love to hear all the things they have to say. It's like a very fun accent. Like one of her family one time said, "Is that your dad's wife? Is she a nice lady?" And I thought
She's
that
a
was
nice lady.
so good. I love to like it's stuck in my head. It's like a sound tick.
It's like the only
That's a
thing
lady.
he remembers
She's
about
a nice
me.
lady, and I only know her because I just remember her saying that. And I'm like,
I remember
"That
her
lady."
being a nice lady.
I know that she said that.
That's funny.
Yeah,
I love that.
I wish my family had a fun accent, except for the British ones. Like
It's
you know,
fun.
I got my little British
fun.
cousins. You know,
Your accent's
oh,
fun.
Corey.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah,
Little
yeah,
British
it's pretty
guys.
fun. It's fun until you go there and they're like not, you know, I had my winter coat, right? Wasn't necessarily winter. Those kids, within like 30 seconds, they're like, Cousin Corey's fat. I'm like, dude, England sucks. You guys are second place for sure. Like, this is not cool. Yeah.
I knew we left for a reason.
Y'all are mean.
Yeah, no.
That's funny.
Yeah. No wonder we kicked you guys out. You know what's really funny that gets me every time is America exists because of, at one point, a 3% tax was imposed on tea. And that was just like, we are like,
We were like,
we're done with that.
yeah, right.
We're done. Yeah.
Not doing
We'll
it.
not.
I'm not
stand
doing
for
that. No.
We'll not stand.
Dude,
for
my
that.
tea will be at a discount.
No, get me a boat. I'm
Yeah.
leaving right now.
Yeah, I'm drinking coffee.
During the Olympics, that's when we're like our most patriotic, you know. And anytime you see like the UK on there, it's like it's very easy to be like, and y'all like stayed with your king and queen. How lame.
Look what you could be.
We do not care. Y'all just stayed there, whatever.
We have like a whole bunch of countries mixed into one, though.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you go from California to Alabama, it's
I mean,
A
Pretty big
totally different world.
difference.
I really do
It's
feel like I'm in a
different.
foreign country. Like it is such a different place. The driving is
landscape
different.
is
The
different,
landscape is
like-
different.
there was.
Yeah.
Did you see that? Sorry. Nope, you
No,
did
her
this.
hands.
Yeah.
Oh,
I did it.
no, look at
Yeah.
she did do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, the landscape is so
I'm so
different.
excited.
It's like everything is so old where we're from. Like even the
Yeah.
land itself is so old. Like the Appalachian Mountains are so old, and like the ground on it is so old. There's so much like old history
Yeah.
there. And this feels fresh. It's like feels like the mountains even look kind of fresh. I don't know how to explain
Really?
it.
Saddleback Mountain, they just built in like what, 2015?
Yeah, what? Like just the
Yeah.
other day.
With new dirt. None of that old dirt.
old dirt.
Made some new dirt.
The sand on the beaches is different even because the sand on the Gulf Coast beaches is a result of like granite from the Appalachian
Yeah.
Mountains. So it's like white and like soft.
Pretty.
And this is not white. It's like, looks like desert sand. It's like sand. Like looks
Yeah.
like what sand would look like if you typed in sand on Google. Here.
Sand.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Sand looks like sand.
It's
Pretty
just
standard
It
sand.
is true.
like standard sand.
Sand has a habit of being very sandy.
It
Yeah,
does.
very sand.
Looks like sand. a
On the
lot.
way here, also they were like the tsunami warning is lifted, and nobody told me
Like,
there was like
wait.
a tsunami warning.
What?
Oh yeah, that was a
Again,
fun update. There was a tsunami warning. There was a 7.0
but it was in
earthquake
NorCal.
in
It's fine.
NorCal, which
You
we
know,
don't care about. We
they're fine.
war with them up in the north.
Is San Jose North California?
Central.
Central.
Yeah, middle.
Actually, I
You're getting
randomly went
north-ish.
there for a weekend for one of my birthdays. It was a fun city.
It was
Yeah,
fun.
it
We just did
was.
San Jose too. I think I like this area even better than I liked San Jose, but I liked it. It was nice. It's different vibes than here even.
Very
it's like
different
a totally
vibes.
different
Yeah,
vibe.
I mean, the late Robin Williams did a great bit about earthquakes and how nonchalant we are. We're like 3.1. Yeah. We're like, oh, 5.2. We'll have drinks outside. Like it's
You should see
fine.
us when the sky tries to get us, though. We will be running like ants, dude, just everywhere. We're
Yeah.
out. No, the sky attacks.
You just got to worry about it
Oh.
if the
Y'all
weatherman
would
rolls his
just not
sleeves
know
up.
what-
Then,
La-
then
last
it's
year,
time.
last year we got a hurricane warning, and you would have thought that
That's
California
crazy.
lost its mind, and they didn't handle it. See, I was born on the East Coast. We get a nor'easter or
Yeah.
hurricane. What's the first thing you do? You buy all the liquor.
Yeah.
All the
'Cause, yeah, you
Right.
got to hunker
all
down.
the bread,
So
all the
Toilet
stuff.
paper.
It's a
you're
party.
fine. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
now we know
hurricane
toilet
party.
paper is
Yeah.
a must.
Party.
But oh man, everybody was
We
like,
treat
it's the end of
hurricanes
days.
similar to tornadoes, and I know we're like trying to wrap up or whatever, but so if it's a category, so for everybody in
Oh,
California,
category 1, that's a breeze.
here's how you treat hurricanes.
like,
Category
what do
1s is like meh.
Yeah.
Not paying attention to that. Also, category 2, I like don't even really want to hear about it. If it's a category 3,
Might get
okay,
some hail.
we'll
Yeah,
pay
I'm listening.
attention. There is a specific weatherman that for the Weather Channel, Jim Cantori, who I also blocked
Yes.
on the internet.
Yeah, no, he
because I
doesn't.
said this.
Right.
And if he shows up, then you're in trouble. Like you really are too late at this point if he shows up. And then I don't know if y'all have Waffle Houses here. Do y'all
Oh,
have the
yeah,
Waffle
we have-
House?
If the Waffle House shuts down,
It's done. You're
Yeah.
done.
You're
for it.
over
You
with.
need to say your prayers
No.
and like say goodbye to everybody because
That's-
that's it. That's
that's
it.
the
But that's
whole
the
thing.
hurricane skill. It's like category 3, okay. Jim Cantori, yikes. Waffle House, done.
Done.
for.
that is
We're done.
that's the truest thing that anybody's
And he
ever said on the
messaged me and he was
podcast
like, don't say this. And I was like, sorry.
You're like, sorry,
Say
but
this.
don't have a
Take that,
presence.
Jim Cantori.
ever. No, when the Waffle House shuts down, that's the end of days.
It's over with.
Yeah,
It's only
that's
happened once in our whole lives, and it was during Katrina, and that was time to panic. It was like,
That was a good reason to panic.
It was.
it was a good time
That was
to
a
panic.
legitimate
It was
reason.
very panic
like-
Yeah.
inducing.
in a like really, it was like a very bad, obviously, but I had like a really, it's like, it was very, we had fun after Katrina.
You know,
I
I'm
did
actually
not have
ashamed
fun.
to admit that there were a lot of good times during COVID that
Yeah,
I
we had a
noticed
blast.
that I actually didn't want to see people out in public
A
at
blast,
all.
just
And
being
once
stuck
I
in our house.
escaped it, I was like,
Yes.
wow, I am a great person to hang out with suddenly.
It's
You know
like
what I
while
mean?
we're here today, we got a taste of like freedom
We
during
lived our
quarantine,
best
and we were like,
homesteader
okay,
lives
this
during
is
COVID.
this is it. This is like what I want to do so much.
We were actually looking at pictures of ourselves last night from COVID, and I'm like,
We were
just,
glowing. We like
look
looked so
good.
healthy.
We look
had, like,
genuinely happy.
we had a great
So
time.
healthy.
Had such a great time.
I Uber Eats, I think, every single meal for a couple years.
We didn't have any Uber
It-
Eats, so we had to like make all the food
Yeah.
and like grow food sometimes.
I do remember
Grow the food.
being at the stove and
Well-
being like, I can't believe there's another, like, we have to eat food again today. Like, I can't believe that. You know, but
Happy
you have
hour
to feed your
was
children.
whenever.
It was.
You're like Wednesday at noon. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, it's so fun.
Nothing's open.
Yeah.
During Katrina, we had a few extra concerns though. So like, first of all, they gave me a chainsaw, and I know I don't look like they would give me a chainsaw, but they let me have a chainsaw.
No, I'd
during
give you a
Katrina
chainsaw
afterwards.
first thing.
I don't know. I can though, chainsaw with the best of them. But also there was a trapper through the woods from our house, and like trappers are people who like just trap animals, whether
Yeah.
legally or not. I don't know, but they exist.
But it happens.
We had two in our town, one called Trapper Gator, and then this one that was just another trapper. It was Trapper Gator, not Gator Trapper. He did trap gators, but that was his name. And during Katrina, all the animals got out from that one trapper. And so not only did we have to worry about that everything was blown down, that the Weather Channel called us the landmass between Louisiana and Alabama, and we're still mad about it.
I'll never
I would be
forget.
too.
I would take that
But
person.
we also had like
Hell
a
yeah.
cougar in the woods, a pack of red wolves, and like all these strange other animals that had just escaped. And he came over to our house and he was like, y'all should probably get inside.
It's like maybe you should work on better traps.
Okay,
Right.
What are you
what?
talking about?
You're not doing a good job.
Yeah, don't call yourself a trapper and then let them all just get loose.
So it was
Right.
kind of fun.
I want to speak to your manager. Yeah.
It was kind of fun.
Because when I trap an animal, it's stuck. Like that animal,
It's
they
trapped.
Trapped.
Exactly.
Hurricane
You
or
would do the
not.
job correctly.
I absolutely.
Well, he had actually lost the cougar before in life, because one of my earliest memories is being at a vacation Bible school, which is like free babysitting for kids in the South. You just go, it's like churches.
Vacation Bible
churches
school
put
sounds exhilarating.
It is summer vacation,
it is.
and it's like Bible school, and they have the little cookies that are rings that you can put on your fingers. But he brought a show and tell to Vacation Bible School. Like, this is one of my first memories. And I was in the gym, and the show and tell was the cougar, and it was on a collar and a leash, and we were like all petting the cougar, and then it wiggled out of the collar and escaped. And so I like woke up to this life, to a cougar like racing around the gym with little children running in every direction, but it didn't do anything to anybody. So when it got on Katrina, I was like, oh no, I know that cougar.
I like that it's gotten out multiple times. Like, this is like the coyote and this is like Coyote and the Roadrunner.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Getting into shenanigans.
Yeah.
It's fun. You got to be aware when you're there.
There is a cougar.
Eyes open.
Eyes open, looking out for cougars.
Walmart
we
really
have
has
mountain lions
everything.
here, so we know a thing or two
Okay.
about big cats that can cause problems.
Yeah.
Yeah. Snakes.
No, we have
snakes.
cougars too. You just got to go to the bars in Newport
Aren't
Beach.
they the same thing? Oh,
I see what you did there.
Kept it local. Kept it local.
There we
yeah.
go. Very
Kept it
nice.
local.
Local, very Newport Beach of you.
Very Newport.
There's a couple on the loose cougars in Newport Beach.
Nice.
I bet you'll find them.
I would love to know a
Yeah, they
breakdown
slip out of their
the
rings, too.
neighborhood, like all the cities, like what they mean and stuff.
Well, you guys have been really fun to talk to. Man, I wish we
Yeah,
could
this
just
has
sit
been
here all day.
fantastic.
You had to go and have a comedy show tonight, which
Yeah.
now I wish I was going to.
Yeah, if people do want to like learn more about you guys, follow along if they don't already, learn about the book, find out tour dates for the show, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Website, social.
I'm Landon
Plug 'em.
Talks all across all social media. On YouTube, I'm Landon Talks a lot. I felt very clever about that because they're longer.
Yep.
But so Landon Talks a lot on YouTube. Landon Talks everywhere else, on everywhere you can find podcasts. It's Landon Talks with Kate, and that just dropped, and it's very exciting. And we've got a bunch of comedy shows. We dropped some new dates now. I think like we've got a Florida show, we've got some Georgia shows and Texas shows coming up in the spring,
Nice.
and they'll be continuing to add those as we go along. And it's a really good time. I love getting to meet all the people and like see that they're real people and not just like a thing I've made up on my phone.
Figment.
Like they're
Right.
not just numbers. It's actual people.
And I don't know if you're watching, Miss Dolly Parton, but
She's
please
watching.
reach
She
out.
surely is.
Every show.
Yeah.
She surely is. Surely.
Dolly just texted me this morning. She's like, "Hey, I'm going to see you." I'm like,
Amazing.
Yeah.
She would have
She's
faxed
out
you.
there.
She would have faxed you.
in the lobby.
Pay attention.
She faxed someone to text him. That's what she did.
Yeah, that's right. She doesn't have a phone. Dang it.
Forgot.
I don't know my friend Dolly that well.
Smoke signals.
Yeah.
Awesome, you guys.
Well, anyways, hey, congratulations on everything taking off. It sounds like you guys are moving in a pretty solid direction.
Thank you so
Thanks.
much.
Yeah.
We're just having a good time doing whatever this is.
Good. Keep doing
Whatever
it. That's
this
all.
is.
Whatever you
Just
call
keep
this.
doing that.
We're
Keep
going to
doing that.
continue to do it.
Yeah. And I do like that it's Landon Talks with Kate.
Yeah.
So that keeps it very vague. Your role in that could be, I mean, almost unlimited. So,
Right.
Exactly.
It's fun.
And it's not at Kate, and that's better for everybody.
No. Evolve.
For our
Especially me.
Yeah.
It'd be funny if you just talked and she just sat there. She's like, "I'm with Kate."
I'm just here to
You know?
listen.
I'm just saying, yeah. All right, y'all. Happy Taco Tuesday. Thanks for watching. Go check them out. Cheers.
Bye, Z.
Cheers.
TacoTuesday.com.